They say Paris is a city of art, a museum in itself. But like any great museum, it has its acquisitions. Some are bought, some are borrowed, and some, it seems, are noisily hacked from their displays with all the subtlety of a butcher. I'm speaking, of course, of the recent performance at my beloved Louvre. On October 19, four gentlemen decided to pay a visit to the Apollo Gallery, not as patrons, but as, let's call them, aggressive antique dealers. Their plan had a certain theatrical flair, I'll admit. The bright vests, the traffic cones, the ladder truck, a clever bit of stagecraft. In a city of constant reinvention, who looks twice at construction workers? Invisibility, my friend, is often a simple matter of wearing the right costume. A lesson I have always found profitable. They ascended to the balcony, a gasoline-powered saw screaming like a banshee. The soundtrack of the modern heist, so brutish, so loud. They shattered a window, threatened with guards, who, bless their hearts, performed a swift and strategic retreat and set about their work. Their target? The crown jewels, or rather pieces of them. An earring here, a necklace there. They knew what they wanted. Jewels that can be broken apart, melted down. Their history erased for a quick sale. They weren't stealing history, they were butchering it for parts. The media, in its infinite wisdom, speculated about a shadowy billionaire collector, some eccentric with a private vault and a desire for the priceless. A charming fantasy, but the evidence tells a far less romantic story. They left behind the Regent diamonds. Imagine that, leaving a 60 million masterpiece untouched. It's like breaking into a cellar and stealing the cheap table wine while leaving the Chateau Lafite. No, this was not the work of a connoisseur. This was the work of thugs. And then the final act of their clumsy opera. In their haste, they dropped the crown of Empress Eugenie on the street. A treasure of 56 emeralds and over 1,000 diamonds abandoned on the pavement like a common trinket. Speed was their god, but it made them sloppy. They fled on scooters, clever for navigating the veins of Paris, but leaving a trail of evidence a child could follow. A helmet, gloves, the ladder truck. They left behind their entire toolkit. The police will have no trouble connecting the dots. Their DNA is likely sprinkled over the scene, like confetti at a carnival. These men were not thieves. They were vandals in a hurry. They saw only monetary value, not the soul of the object. They didn't appreciate the artistry, the centuries of stories held within each stone. To them, Empress Eugenie's crown was just a collection of shiny rocks. True theft, the kind I practice, is an art form. It requires finesse, intelligence, and above all, a profound respect for beauty. You do not shatter a display case. You persuade the lock. You do not terrorize the guards. You charm them into looking the other way. You do not leave a masterpiece behind. These men will be caught. Their names will be a footnote in the police report. But the jewels they mutilated are gone forever. They didn't steal treasure. They merely destroyed it. And the state? It does not propose to buy back the jewels, nor did they publicly propose such a negotiation to gain time. Why would it? To negotiate with them is to dignify them, and these hammer swingers are hardly worthy of a conversation. The jewels are likely already being broken apart, and their history dissolved for a pittance. There is nothing left to recover, only expensive dust. And that, my friends, is the difference between a common criminal and an artist. Forever yours, Arsène Lupin.